Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto nerds of all ages, you know what time it is. It's time for Monty to talk with you and talk to other people in the industry about algorand. What's going on? Today we have Equito Finance. It's a DEX and it's a cross-chain platform, has high aspirations. We're going to talk to their founder today and see what's what. All right, so let's see if we can pull Paolo in, and there he is.
Hello, everybody.
There he is. Welcome to the channel, Paolo. So if you aren't familiar with Equito Finance, we should go check it out. I'll put the links down below for everybody. This is a very interesting project. Particularly, I think it's cross-chain dynamics. So we're going to talk a lot about that, about how you got involved with the project and blockchain in general. Before we jump into that, though, I'm really hoping that you can just kind of give us a background on yourself. Paolo, let's talk about you for a few minutes. You know, what is your history, and you know what brought you to blockchain in the first place?
Absolutely. Thank you for introducing me and for having me here. So I'm Paolo Equito. I'm the founder of Equito Finance from Italy. I do live in Italy, and my background is not that much. You know, I'm 22 years old. I always loved economics and in general everything that makes connection between people, so also technology, and solve real world problems. So 3 years ago, I started working on Equito as a concept. So the concept behind Equito was to create like modern society in a more free and open and democratic and transparent world for everybody to use. So this is a little bit of my background. I studied economics. I never finished my study actually because I jumped into.
I find that's a very
Equito.
common thing from founders. They started something, and they got really interested in it, and then they figured, you know what, I'm already outgrowing what the teachers have to show me, or I want to go pave my own path.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
kudos. Okay.
You know, uh, blockchain in general. I heard the first time about blockchain or really about Bitcoin back in 2012. So I was in high school, and we talk with friends, and we start seeing what it is. So, but you know, at that time, at that age, you don't really care about that thing. So time passed. You become aware about real world problems, and you say, okay, this can actually help a lot of people. You can actually do some very interesting stuff and solve real world problems. So that's the kind of how I enter in this area, you know, and it's beautiful because it's not just the technology; it's all the movement that is behind. It's all the philosophical part that is behind that is fascinating, and it can really help.
So when you were in high school and you're talking to your buddies about Bitcoin, right? Because it's 2012, there's nothing else really to talk about yet. You know, Mount Gox happens. You know, there's a whole bunch of things that happen in the Bitcoin world at that point in time. What about it appealed to you? You're talking about the philosophy of it. Was it the anonymity? Was it the democratization? Was it cross-border? What was it that really kind of drew you in initially?
You know, when you can fight against okay, I'm Italian. I came from the southern part of Italy, and you know, Italy, we're well known for a lot of things. And when you can fight like corruption, when you can fight the corruption on any level, this is a game changer. You know, and all the philosophy that is behind it, and also on the anonymity. Being anonymous on that part, but it is not really that part, you know, because it is not in reality. But when you give power to people, amazing things can happen. So also on that part of the philosophy behind all the blockchain movement is this way. So you don't need to trust anybody, but you can start learn from yourself. You can start checking your the information that are out. So this is
Yeah.
great, and thank you also for this kind of not kind, but it's educational because markets need to be educated. People need to be educated on that.
It's going to be a pretty steep learning curve, but the more we get out to folks, the easier it will be. And I think eventually there will be a
So,
point in time where people don't even know that it's blockchain. It just is. The service works better or more efficient than something else, and the term blockchain will just be assumed. Kind of like smartphones. Yeah,
yeah,
nobody has a dumb phone anymore. Everybody has a smartphone, and so we don't need to say that it's a smart anything anymore. It just is.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
And so same thing will happen with blockchain. I think at some point in time, it will stop being a blockchain specific product. It will just be a project or a product that works with everything that we're used to. So it was important to you to work with a cross-chain DEX. Can you talk to us about that and why that is better than something that is solely based on one blockchain like Algorand or Solana or whatever it is? Why is it important to be multi-chain friendly?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question indeed. So yeah, exercise is a brief is an AMM DAX is a DAX already. We're about to go on testnet, but the main thing behind it is that different blockchain apps already different users and also different communities and different projects on that and different tools. So all you want to do is make all these tools, all these beautiful communities be able to communicate, to elevate all the potential on every blockchain, on every network basically. So right now, this is the basis. So after that, we started developing all the tools that we think are useful in a DeFi ecosystem. So the cross-chain part is, I think, a common path to be able to connect different communities and also different projects. So we started from that, and we did everything without KYC and ML. Also for the private part, because I don't want to give away that much information about me, about everything.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense for me. You
This
need
is
to trust the
that's why
person. You
that's
don't.
why it's the DEX, right? So the
Yeah, exactly.
decentralized portion of it is important to
Exactly.
you. Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's fundamental. You don't need to trust anybody. You don't need to trust us. You need to fact check us. So also on that part, we're pretty confident on this. And right now, it's just a useful tool for the algorand DeFi ecosystem to grow. And on top of that, we're already expanding other bridges. Right now, we bridge Ethereum, so it's pretty fast, pretty cheap. Your bridged asset will be able to move whatever the DeFi ecosystem on Algorand is. So you can bridge your asset, move, I don't know, on Pulse or uh, every project you want. And from there, we'll start adding, of course, more, S20 plugins, so people can bridge also that. And from there, we have a good release map, a good roadmap on that. But
Okay.
yeah, the bridge is essential. It is
So
essential. Without KYC and ML. Also.
bridging assets over, in theory, I think the bridges are going to be important as people become disenchanted with chains like gas fees on Ethereum. What you see happening with Luna right now. Solana's down periodically. These other projects or even just chains have issues. So it's important, I think, to have those bridges. But I'm going to throw the Algorand logo up there in the top corner there. You are building primarily for the Algorand ecosystem. So let me ask you, how did you find Algorand, and what was it about Algorand that really appealed to you?
That's a good question. So I found Algorand because one of my friends um, started building integrating Algorand, or in general the blockchain of Algorand, in his
Hmm.
payment ecosystem, in his payment system, um, and started to do some curious stuff on that. So I started researching on what it is and how it's built, and Algorand have a lot of things that is just good.
Hmm.
Starting from Silvio Micali,
Yeah,
uh, is a kind of a legend, and he's also Italian, so I kind of like it. No,
there
but
you go. You got
no,
you got
no,
you got some connection there. I like it. So from
yeah,
the top down, I agree. Algorand
you
is a
know,
is a well built company, solid foundations.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But except from that, they do have a good technology. They do
Hmm.
have, and they are uh, much different from other blockchains. I do believe in the team that is behind. I do believe in the foundation. I do support what they are doing
Hmm.
because they're building useful stuff, and
Hmm.
it's built in a useful way. It's pretty cheap. It's pretty fast. It's pretty decentralized, and it's also carbon negative right now. That so many people is a good thing, and yeah, that's kind
Okay.
of our reasons.
Well, so I'm obviously a big
We
fan of
love
the Algorand
the yeah.
ecosystem. I believe that the projects based here are built for the long term. You're about to hit testnet very soon. I
That's
think
correct.
probably just a couple of weeks away at this point. I think, right? Maybe by the time people are watching this, it might actually
Maybe
be live.
before. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, probably, probably.
So it's coming up
Um,
pretty quickly. Let me ask you about total, TVL and the liquidity, availability, because we've seen a few of these dexes come up, but there's only the same amount of liquidity to be spread around between, so many different
hmm,
platforms, and it
got
seems
you.
to be like, it's not always if you build it they will come. What is your plan to attract projects to have liquidity on your platform, and is that a long-term problem or is that just a short-term problem?
I think it's both because
Yeah.
in the short term, you're seeing a lot of VCs, but also the algorithm, the foundation itself, investing a lot in projects, in useful projects on algorithms, of course, to bring more users, to increase the adoption, and it's great. So in the short term, you're going to see a boost in liquidity. But at the same time, because a lot of very useful projects are going live right now,
Hmm.
and it will a lot of will go live in the next month. So it's more of a DeFi on algorithm problem. I mean, it's a collective problem. But I think when people realize uh, the benefits from the algorand blockchain, the benefits to use the algorand blockchain uh, for us when they try us,
Hmm.
when people will try us and see how fast it is, how cheap it is, how easy it is. So
Hmm.
because also the user experience is pretty important. It's
I
important
would
too
agree. Yeah.
because you have to think about not just for the DeFi users, the already DeFi users, but for everybody.
Hmm.
And the user experience is a good point to start. So in the long term, I think efficiency will pay off. Will pay. Um, Pay off? I don't know.
Yeah,
Will
yeah.
pay. Yeah. Okay.
Efficiency will pay off. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you just have to wait and see. And meantime, building useful products for people to
Hmm.
incentivize also that part of adoption. So we're here also for that. We are kind of releasing very useful stuff for different also use case. So
Okay.
from.
Let's talk about revenue models for you. So
Yeah.
how does Equito how will you make money off of a DEX? We want to make sure that your business is healthy and surviving and here for the long term. Um, so what kind of fees are there? What services are coming along the lines that would have a fee or that you would charge for,
Yeah.
and how does that work?
Okay, that's a good question too. So the business model of Equito is basically a transactional model. So we do have fees, and until a point in time where Equito will become a full DAO. So it will not be long. It's not controlled by us, right now,
Hmm.
but Treasury. Um, until that moment will be reinvested in basically in TVL, and so providing liquidity and pay the developers
Uh-huh.
because there are
Uh-huh.
a lot of them.
Yeah.
But other than that, we are a transactional. We do have transaction fees. It's free, basically the same level of other DEXs.
Hmm.
We do have transaction fees also on the bridge, but there will be a third in the time. So I'm guessing, and it's probably my guess, between 8 to 10 months,
Hmm.
probably more close to 10 months than 8, when we will start implementing our governance model. So every token holder of the uh, governance token of Equito
Hmm.
basically will own part of the treasury. So at that part of the journey, basically we're going to become a DAO. So we're going to share also all our income to our users. So
Okay.
essentially more than 64% of our future token will be released in over a long, very long period of time will be owned by community members. So
Okay.
it's very built for people.
So is there going to be an initial, a
That's
DEX
offering. Yeah,
offering for your own token, I assume?
yeah. I don't want to say the period exactly because you know how it goes. If you see our roadmap on the website, is we don't show a lot because
Yeah, it's like
we are
you have it
on
broken
the
down by like quarters, I think. It's going to happen, but the time frame is not exact.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, everything that is on our roadmap right now, we already done it.
Hmm.
So we're kind of the ideology that they'll here communicate later, and it is. I think in the short period doesn't pay because people are not that excited about what you will do. You can create that kind of hype, but you can create good piece of technology and good useful tools for people. So in the long run, it will pay. And it's just for the for the community and for the projects to be healthier. So yeah, there will be an ideal.
Okay.
There will be an ideal
And this is
probably.
a DEX. I can't imagine you're blocking out IP addresses for any geographic area. U.S.
Yeah,
residents will have access. There's no KYC or anything like that because it's a DEX. Any
yeah.
other restrictions
No,
like that?
not really, not really. No,
Okay.
no. Even if okay, that's a pretty tricky question because
Right.
in Europe we have MiCA, the
Yes.
regulatory MiCA, and they recently they say something like if a decentralized exchange, if I know green like a DAX it's really decentralized, it can be a legal entity, right? So
Hmm.
um, if you say that it can be a legal entity, basically you can't regulate it.
Mm.
And you know, uh, when
There's a
you
fine
talk
line there.
about regulation, yeah, when you talk about regulation and decentralized, really decentralized application, it's kind of a paradox because uh, who you are going to sanction? Me, Polity because I'm the founder. Okay, well done, but you can stop it.
Hmm. Yeah, it's gonna have a mind of its own.
Yeah,
Um, So, can
it's
you
kind of
share any
the goal.
about the backers of the project initially? Funding, it's not inexpensive to hire developers and programmers and the design, the UI guys that did this. I don't know how much of the work what your specialty is, but the interface looks fantastic. I can tell there's a
Thank
lot
you.
of work gone into this. Who's
Thank you.
backing the project now? It's impressive up to this point.
That's a good question. Um, and the answer is pretty funny too, because
Okay.
we completely bootstrapped the project.
Wow.
We spent a couple of years to finding the right partners, and we found one. It's
Mhm.
Mobile. There's a software house based in Rome, and they do believe in what my vision was for the project. For my vision for Equito Finance is not just the backs and the breach. We have a lot of things going on,
Mhm.
and they decide to put work on it. So they enter. They basically have our back. So they are Equito as long as I am. So
Mm.
we are partner on this, and you know, for the same logic as I talked about, build first, communicate later. We did the same things about funding.
Mhm.
So we do believe in what we are doing. We do believe in what we are delivering to the market, to the people that they're going to use. That we have invested by
Mhm.
our own since now.
Yeah.
So and we will continue to do that. So yeah, uh, we have it's not enormous team, but we have 16 people right now. We are
Wow.
16 people, and we completely bootstrapped it before asking to, before applying for grants or before going to VCs. We have
Mhm.
built the solution. We built the team. We consolidate the team. We passed our own. But
Mhm.
you're right. It's pretty expensive. It's pretty expensive when going through all the security process that is
Yeah.
necessary. Thank you for the compliments on the time.
Yeah.
I hope you will enjoy also the DAX design. Um, but it was all everything internal. So our team is
Excellent.
um, based. The main part is here in Italy. We have people like you say, like Chandler is our CMO.
Yeah.
You say in United States. We have people from China. We have people from Germany. We have people in Africa. So we have a lot of people. We're
Very,
yeah.
very diverse group. I can appreciate that, and I'm happy to see that it's coming up to testnet relatively soon here. Can you talk to us about safety, audits, bug bounties, programs like that to make sure that your platform is safe, secure? What's the plan there, and how much will you share with the public?
Yeah, absolutely. I will share everything that is true. Absolutely. So this is a part.
Yeah.
So as long as we can take it. So okay, security. We have an internal team of
Hmm.
security to do the security part. We also have an external auditors and more of one. But we're choosing our security audit very wisely
Hmm.
right now. So we kind of divide the security part in like three major points. One is our internal, that is, our uh, dedicated testers, dedicated security auditors. We're choosing an external company for the audit,
Hmm.
and also we will do bug bounty. So there is a special section. There's a section with a bug in the bags. You can indicate what the bug is, and and pass your address and select the
Sure.
kind
Okay.
of bug and get paid. And this is a thing. How much we're going to send to bug bounty contest, I can say right now because we're just aligning our budgets because also this part is bootstrapped by us right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of modeling our expenses in order to be alive.
Sure. Yep, I
But
understand.
other than that, we're um, pretty confident about what we have developed right now,
Uh-huh.
and also on our test part, because as I said, we are going to we're going to be on testnet for about 8 weeks, 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So we have enough time to test and fix things and get feedback and um,
Do you have a lot
everything
of folks
you're
already
going
signed
to.
up for the test net to, kind of, I don't know, put it through its paces and try and break stuff?
Not yet, not yet. I'm sorry, maybe I didn't get the question.
Do you have volunteers to try out the project during
Yeah,
testnet?
sure,
Yeah.
sure, yeah, absolutely. On our Discord pages, well, on the marketing side, with Chandler, it is amazing. It really ups the project and everything for Zoom. But
Mm-hmm.
we kind of just started. Um, so a lot of the members of in our community on Discord and are asking a lot for passionate, and they all
Yep.
going to volunteer. And but we are creating also incentives for people to participate. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's important to get the community involvement, and they will be your biggest fans and your harshest critics.
yeah,
So, and
yeah. That's
both
great.
are important. Yeah, uh, we need that feedback on a regular basis to make sure that our projects are performing well and giving the community what they need. It's very often, you and I, like, we might have an idea that comes up and we think it's a great idea, but the community feedback is no, that's a terrible idea, and it's
Yeah,
important to get that feedback sooner rather than later.
absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree with you because people are the market.
Yeah. Do
So
you
when you
do
face
you
the
hop into
people
that?
are the market, yeah.
Yeah. Do you get into that Discord group very often to, interact with the group there?
Sometimes
How do
I
you get
did.
how do you get your feedback?
Sometimes I did. We had a ask me anything question, section on, but um, I maybe it will sound a little strange, but I'm not that social, you know.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of weird in the social interaction. So I love seeing feedback. I love seeing what people think about what we're doing. And I
I
think
think
okay,
that's
maybe
very
please.
common because
Okay.
people who are founders and have that vision tend to get tunnel vision, and so like
Yeah.
the social impact may not be the highest priority, but we can get stuff done. So I
No,
can
no,
I can
absolutely.
appreciate that. Yeah.
I love the interaction, the community. I love the concept of community in general because our society is a community of people. So
Hmm.
basically, we have to face with our community. And but me as personal, as Pauli Florida,
Yeah.
I'm very, I'm trying to get used to interact more. I'm working on it before myself, but they're just amazing. It's always good to have feedback. Also the negative one because there is not a negative feedback. It's always a like
Hmm.
it's just a feedback.
Yeah.
It's feedback.
Absolutely.
So you take it and you're valuing, and then
So
it is in line with everything.
there's
Uh,
projects like ours, and sometimes it's hard to come up for air and look at other projects. Do you have any other projects in Algorand or on any other blockchain for that matter that you have been interested in and following, and that have caught your eye? What kind of projects are you following
yeah.
personally?
Personally, that's interesting. I love Nexus model
Okay.
on Ethereum. Is just amazing. I love other kind of. I love the DAO when the DAO was up in
Ah.
2017 before the act, but
Yeah.
I always at the point of, okay, I like it, then it goes back, and people just disappear and say, oh, maybe there was some problem on that project. But
Hmm.
on algorand, I really like what algorithm is doing right now.
Hmm.
Also, um, prismatic, their approach. So there are different, very different projects that are
Yeah.
doing very good and useful things.
Hmm.
I mentioned Nexus model because there is um, a very great concept behind it, and I really support that part. But in general, this is on another blockchain, of course. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of useful things that
Hmm.
um, doesn't matter where it's built. There are a lot of useful things and also model of society that are interesting, not just in the blockchain area, but in general, society modeling. And
Hmm.
it is great to see how we, with the technology and with the economic part and with the social part, can create an entire new society. And this is fascinating for me.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of
Especially with
things.
your economics background, and I
Yeah,
can tell in speaking with you, you're interested in the philosophy of Bitcoin and combining those two things that you've shared just in this meeting. I can just imagine, what's turning, up in your brain as far as the next phases of the projects and what you'd like to see
yeah,
happen with crypto in general. It's
yeah,
a great
absolutely.
equalizer.
We're going to release also a manifesto.
Uh huh.
A manifesto is it's called a manifesto. It's kind of our point of view, um, how we are, how we get here. You know,
Hmm.
what we can do, what we
Yeah.
wanted to do, and why.
What change you can
Yeah,
affect.
yeah,
I love it. All right.
yeah.
So we're running down on time here, but there's projects like mine who may want to list our tokens on your site. At what point in time will you be open to taking on new projects? And will you have a form for that? Do you have an intake? Is there a waiting
Yeah.
list? What kind of information can you share with us right now? When we go to the website, what's there?
Um, okay, on this website, that is our website will change a little bit in
Hmm.
like in the next few weeks.
Uh-huh.
So maybe
It actually
for
went through a
when,
redesign. I noticed maybe a month ago, you
yeah,
added you changed a
yeah,
lot there as
exactly.
well.
But
Okay.
we're changing to we're implementing new part in the website as well. But
Okay.
right now there is a like a subscription form.
Hmm.
If you have a project or something that can integrate with us, that can join in our like sub ecosystem, you can just
Hmm.
submit, and then our team can talk and see how can we implement. But you know, we are kind of um, trying to create an open market, an open society. So
Hmm.
we don't really put entry barriers for anyone, because if you are going to add value as for your project as well, um, you should be able to do that.
I
And
agree.
then the market choice, and then the
Hmm.
market choose, right? So you should be able to be as transparent as you can, so people can read, can check, can study your project, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then choose.
Then it's up to the people. Then that
Excel,
feedback is a gift. Then the feedback
excel,
is important. And will you or will you not adapt? And will they agree with you?
excel. Absolutely, absolutely. So in this way, we truly believe in an open market, but a truly open market. You know?
Excellent. All right. Well, I appreciate you stopping by today, spending a half an hour more with me, going through the project, sharing some of your philosophies, your ideas. It's
Thank
fascinating
you.
to me to talk to people from all over the globe who have projects that can impact literally every single corner of the world. You're going to make a difference. The project's going to make a difference, and we're going to have you back on the show here, maybe in a couple of months after testnet. You can give the good, the bad, the
I hope
feedback,
so.
and let's have a catch up then.
I hope so. Thank you. Thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to talk with you.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Until next time, I am your crypto nerd.